Hey everybody, my name is JAKIN Like Bacon, and for my first YouTube video, I figured I would talk about my coming out experience. So this is part one of my coming out story. My coming out story really starts in elementary school when I was discovering my sexual orientation. So while the 6th grade boys were talking about girls and sports, I was mainly interested in talking about things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Charm, Dawson's Creek. And it kind of hit me. Like, here these guys are, crushing on girls, and here I am, like, okay? I mean, I like girls, but I like guys a lot more. And guys are kind of the ones that made me have butterflies in my stomach and things like that. Throughout that year, I became more familiar with the terms gay and bisexual, and I thought bisexual fit me more because I still liked girls and I still had crushes on girls. They were just based on emotional connection and not physical or romantic attraction. So by the time I got to 7th grade, I was really ready to make some new friends because, 7th grade was a new school, junior high. I was like, all right, I can make something of myself here. I can be anybody I want. But I wasn't quite ready to be openly bisexual. Well, as the months passed by, I started to feel cramped and suffocated and like I couldn't be myself around people. That feeling grew stronger when I met two awesome girls, Shayna and Gina, in my PE class. Now, we bonded real quick over the fact that none of us liked physical activity. I mean, we were like, no thanks. We just like to hang out, stand around, and play volleyball and talk, really. And it was during those moments when I was like, wow, these girls are awesome. I want to hang out with them more. And so we started hanging out after school. We started calling each other on the phone every night. And we just became really close really fast. There were people I could really connect to, and I'd never had that growing up, so that was really special for me. And then the whole wanting to come out feelings really started happening. And I was like, alright, I have to tell somebody because this stuff I'm keeping inside me, this fear and this anxiety, I just can't hold it in anymore. I just have to tell somebody. So when I was thinking about who I could tell, my parents were out of the question. I thought because we were Jehovah's Witness at the time, they would not understand, they would not accept me. And because of that, I felt like I couldn't tell my siblings either. I couldn't tell a counselor or a teacher, or at least I thought I couldn't, because I was certain they would tell my parents and then I'd have to come out to them and then I'd be disowned. And I thought about people from my elementary school, but I was like, I'm not really close to them anymore because by the time junior high started, I really branched out on my own. I finally got to Shayna and Gina. I was like, all right, these are awesome girls. I think I could tell them and I think they would understand, but I need to make sure. So, being a smooth, fly guy, I just straight up asked them, so if you had a bisexual friend, how would you feel about it? Probably not the smoothest thing I've ever done, and they probably had a feeling what I was trying to say or why I was asking. They just said, a friend is a friend, and sexual orientation doesn't change that. Getting that reassurance, I was like, alright, I think I can tell these girls. I think they'll understand. So on that phone call, I was like, alright, I have to tell y'all something, but I don't know how to say it, so give me a minute. I looked around the room for some inspiration or for some way I could tell them. Maybe I could reference a poster or a CD or something. Anything where I didn't have to say the words. Because that was really the hardest part at that time, was just saying I'm bisexual. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. But I think fear and anxiety just had too tight of a grip on my mouth and my body and anything and everything about me at that time. So I looked at the phone for a little bit and I saw the number 2 and I saw the letter B and it just stuck out to me. And then I looked at the number 4 and I saw the letter I. And that's kind of when the light bulb hit. And I was like, alright guys, I'm 2'4". And they're like, what? And I was like, I'm 2'4". I need you to figure it out. And just like that, I just said it. I didn't say I'm bi, I didn't say I'm gay, I didn't say I like guys, I just said I'm 2'4", because, again, that's how smooth I am in 7th grade. And they were just like, okay. Then after a few minutes, Shayna just came out and asked, are you bisexual? I was like, yes, I'm bi. And the rest of that conversation was kind of a blur. I remember talking about when I found out, why I didn't tell them sooner, when I'm going to tell my parents, all those things that a friend might ask you once you come out to them. And just the fact that I could actually speak openly about it, the fact that I could talk about it to them, the fact that I could talk about guys in general, it was just amazing. I felt this huge weight lift off my chest and my shoulders. I felt like I could be myself for the very first time in maybe ever. After that night when I came out to Shayna and Gina, I was so happy with myself. I knew I still had a long journey of coming out ahead of me, but I finally knew that I could do something with this. I can find people who will love me, and I can find people who will support me and not judge me, and I will be okay. And I did. I found Shayna and Gina. And Shayna, Gina, if y'all are watching this, thank you. Thank you for letting me explore my sexual orientation in a safe space that you helped me create. Thank you for listening to me with my boy drama and my crushes and my feelings of fear and doubt and shame and self-worth. Thank you for being a friend. After coming out to them, my confidence boosted, my self-esteem boosted. I felt better in my own skin. And honestly, coming out to them really helped me develop an authentic personality. And I think people could see that because once I came out and started being happy in my own skin, people gravitated toward me. My social circle expanded. I went from having like practically no friends in elementary school to having a lot of friends in junior high. And I really attribute that to my ability to express myself openly. Now, with all those other people, I hadn't talked about my bisexuality at the time, but the fact that I had two people I could be completely authentic with, that changed everything. If you're struggling or coming to terms with your sexuality, your gender identity, your gender expression, whatever, you might feel like there's no one you can talk to. You might feel like no one can understand or you're alone in all this, but I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I actually mean it in a very good way. You're wrong because you're not alone. And if you feel like you can't find anybody, I assure you, there is somebody out there who will talk to you and who will love you and accept you. And if you cannot find anyone, I want you to know one thing. I love you. I accept you. I hope you can find the strength to get through this difficult time if you're going through it. I don't wish it on anybody, but at the same time, it's also one of the most empowering experiences you can go through. So, if you are struggling or coming to terms with your identity, talk about it. Write it in the comments below. Send me a message, but you are not alone. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of my coming out story, where I learned I was bisexual, spoiler alert, gay, and where I got to come out to 2 really awesome girls who showed me that I can be myself and still be loved and accepted. It changed my life for the better. My coming out experiences after that, while not always good, they were for my highest good, and I can say that with the utmost confidence. If you like this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch all my other videos on this channel. And if you have a coming out story of your own, or if you're coming out right now, I would love it if you shared this video as a thank you to anyone and everyone who has been there for someone like me, or you, or anyone else who's struggled with their sexual orientation, gender identity, and or gender expression. Next time on JAKIN Like Bacon, I'll go over part 2 of my coming out story, where I got some bizarre, funny, and jaw-dropping reactions from friends when I tell them I'm bi. Alright YouTubers, I'll see you next time. Take care.